Tips Corner. Welcome back, and if you're new, welcome. I am back from vacation, and Ireland was absolutely beautiful. I enjoyed my trip very, very much. And so now I'm just kind of trying to get back into the swing of things. And I thought I'd pick back up with the birds, Puzzled Bird series. And this is a series, if you haven't seen any of the videos, I had a great big puzzle that had 17 different birds on it. I put the puzzle together and then pulled out each of the individual birds, and I'm putting them together with some assemblage and creating what's called puzzled birds. So the ones I've been working on this weekend are this one. And so here's the puzzle. Obviously, I've got him raised up a little bit and then just stuff going on in the background. And this one is dry too. A little different, but the same idea. So I've just basically taking found pieces, metals, vintage buttons, and this one has some lace and just all sorts of fun stuff thrown on top of them. So let me get those two out of the way. And so now I'm working on this one. And as I work on these, I may pull 2 or 3 kind of out in front of me. And this is another one that I just have. As I pick up a piece and I think, I want to work on this one and I don't like it, then I may move it to another one and just sort of create a little pile of stuff for another one. And so that's what's going on with this one. So I don't really have anything in mind yet for any of them, actually. But I'm just going with the flow. So that one's just sitting up there, just kind of waiting for me to play with next. This one, this bird has this beautiful, black head, and he's red and black and white. And so I decided I wanted to get some black in the background. So what I've done, well, I'm dropping things on the floor here, is use, this is a new stamp that I just got. This is one of Tim Holtz's new ones from Stampers Anonymous. It's called Bold Botanicals, and it's these 4 beautiful flowers. And so what I did, I didn't want the flowers to overtake the bird. So what I did was stamp them onto, I have a bunch of these little cards. This is it's almost like a velvet touch paper. It's, I think it's actually called Soft Touch. So I've had this, I don't know, forever in this size. And so I stamped each of these individually onto the card like that. And then I used Distress Embossing Glaze in Fired Brick. Now, this isn't showing up as bright red, but I didn't want it to. I wanted it to be pretty subtle. And so when you see this, and I don't know if it'll show up, well, maybe it does show up. You see that red tint to it with the black coming through. And so what I did, I went ahead and stamped all 4 of them, and then I ripped them out using my deckle-edged ruler. So I've got this one left to do, and I want to show you what kind of happened as I was ripping this, because I kind of just laid it just inside the edge and ripped. Let me go ahead and do all 4 edges. I don't know if this one's going to do it or not. But what happened was some of the glaze kind of began to, like it wanted to pop off. Let me show you what I'm talking about. That's probably not going to do it on this one now, of course. And I'm not trying to get these straight. I'm just, I want to stay true to the nature of that particular stamp where it's not a perfectly clean edge. And so that's why I'm using, kind of ripping with the deckle. Oh yeah, there, it did it. Okay, good. I'll be able to show you. And like I said, I'm kind of coming in just inside of the edge of where I can see the glazing medium. And if you look right, let's see, will it show? There. You see there how you're seeing like that's redder? That's the glaze starting to, or wanting to kind of pop off of the paper a little bit because I've ripped it there. And so what I did is I just took my heat gun and I just very carefully, don't burn yourself, held this over and reheated those edges. And like I said, you gotta be careful here not to burn yourself. Just reheated those edges, and so that got rid of those little pieces that wanted to pop off. That makes sense. So I thought I would show that to you just so that you, in case you try to do something like this, you see that happening. Okay, I've got all 4 of the flowers here, but I don't think, well, I know I'm not going to use all 4 of them. So I just need to decide which ones I want to use. And I think I probably want to use 2 of them. I really like this one. You can see that up there. And I thought I would put another one down here in this space and then fill it up. So the one I put in that space, I want to be one where you can see the flower. Ooh, that one might work just beautifully. But let's just make sure. See, this is the more of the head of the flower is up here in this corner, which is exactly where I'm going to be covering. So that one's probably not going to work. This one might work, but nope. I really like these 2. I really like these 2 together because the flowers are very similar. So I don't know if you can see that or not. It's very subtle. It's got a little bit of a shine, and I like the way that works. Now from here, I'm going to build up around it with my metal pieces. And I've got a selection kind of in front of me here. So this is the time-consuming part, is me figuring out what I want to use and where. And so basically what I do is I just pick up a piece here and there. So I'm going to grab this. This is a metal ruler, a vintage metal ruler that I have pieces, and this is the end of it. This is one of those where they come in the big circle thing and you pull it out and put it in. And so the numbers are pretty much worn off, but I like the idea of this maybe being on here somewhere. I'm okay with going over the flowers a little bit. Absolutely okay with it. And if this is too long, I can, maybe it's just down there. I can always cut this shorter, and I may end up cutting that shorter. Actually, let's just do that. I'm gonna cut it about right here. And let's maybe put that. And I just, from here, really, I'm just playing. Moving things around. I don't like that sharp edge right there. I do want it to kind of tuck behind. There we go. I want it to tuck behind. So maybe that goes there. Maybe. I really want it to be, I might have cut too much off. Let's start there. Let's try that. I like that. Let's try that. Okay. And everything's crooked and it's not exactly straight, but right now I'm just playing with where do I put pieces and what pieces, more importantly, do I want on here. This is a bag of old keys that I have. Some of them are flat back fake keys. Some of them are real. The whole bag is nothing but keys. And so I think I see one that I kind of like. I see 2 here that I kind of like. So some of these are legit keys and some of them are not. So I'm just going to play with different places that this might go. And I see something that maybe I like it, maybe I don't. I might change my mind 50 bazillion times. I really like these. This is a whole bag of clock hands. I think I got them in an estate sale. And so those have been fun to play with. I have those on one of the ones I just finished. And I like the black ones because I like the idea of getting some more black in here. And so maybe, you know, maybe that's holding that down. I think this is the match. No, that's actually not the match. I think all of these have matches. Let's see if I can find a shorthand. Yeah, those go together. Good enough anyway. And maybe, let's see, maybe they're right here. Oops, lost him. Come back. And I can tuck them up underneath there and maybe put them on the flower. Okay, not sure I like that or not. I spent all that time. And that's kind of the nature of what I do. I spend all this time putzing around and playing with and finding different pieces, and then I find what I think is the perfect piece, and then I don't like it. So that's okay. That's part of the process. It's part of my process. Oh, this one's weird. Look, this has got stuff in the middle of it. That might be fun to, those do not match. They're not the same color. That one might be fun to include somewhere where you can see. Oh, see, I like that. Let's take these off. Okay, let me get these out of the way. I like mixing metals on these. I think that it just adds, you know, for the most part, I'll have rust on them. I'll have brass colored and rusty washers. This is actually a pack. Some of this is some washers from a Finnabair kit. So they're not real washers, but they are. It's pretty cool. Not that, but some of these are really neat. And there might be a place, I don't think I want that color on there though. Maybe it's more subtle. There's a subtle spot for it. That might work. Oh, that's a coin. There might be need something right there. That might work. Tuck that up underneath there. And so I'm just going to keep moving along, keep playing until I kind of have a happy, you know, a happy arrangement. There's not, the focal point is the birds. I don't really worry too much about, you know, having clearly defined focal points and things like that. So if I put one on here, I like the idea of putting two. So I like the idea of maybe that sitting there. That might work. Again, none of this is straight, but you get the idea. You get the idea. A little bit more. I want a little bit more. I might want some book page behind this, and I have a dog yelling to get outside. Or not yelling, kindly asking me to let him out. So I will be right back. Okay, still playing. I decided to get a little cheesecloth in here. So, and I'm using the cream, just this, you know, the regular cheesecloth color. Just want some of that just kind of tucked back behind in a couple places. And I think we're getting closer on this one. I like that. And maybe a little bit of cheesecloth up at the top. Another little piece. I just kind of grab hold of it and just chop. I'm not trying to cut it. I literally chop it like this. And kind of the size roughly that I'm thinking I might want. And then wiggle it a little. Get it nice and ratty. And then maybe it kind of comes in like that. That might work. That might work. I like it so far. And so now I kind of say, all right, where do I have a hole, or where do I think I need something? And I maybe am thinking, maybe there's something up there. I don't have to go all the way around, but if it looks really empty in a place, or I could even put a little more down here, you know, I might do something like this. I like that. I like the way that extends there. Takes that out and works with this. Okay. Now what else? What else? What does it need? What if, let's see. So I've got this wood piece here. This is cool. But I don't really see a good place for it unless it's down here. It could come off the edge a little bit. No, I don't like that. I don't like that with this. So let's just set that aside. What if I had, I feel like I want something dark in the background. But, and this is where I kind of have to use my imagination a little bit before I get there. Actually, you know what? This is a bag of springs. And I just saw one that I thought might do me in. That's not so bad. Not sure. I almost like that better. Okay. Or what if I got cheesecloth goobers on this? What if it's down here? Or what if it's here? Nope, don't like it there. Nope, I don't know. It kind of feels, it's almost too small. Maybe that's what I need. Maybe I need what a big chunka piece. Ooh. There we go. I like that. It's got a nice, some dimension. Yeah, okay. So now it's time to start gluing down. So from here, if I'm worried about it, and if I'm so in love with what I've got that I don't want to mess it up, I'll take a picture. But I'm recording with my camera, and so I can't take a picture right now. So I'm going to see in here, I've got this key, and I'm thinking, you know, that might have a place on this one. So I tend to play with them sort of simultaneously, and then just set that aside, and then come back and focus my attention here. So I don't know if that's, you know, squirrel. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna decide what I need to glue down first. And I think in this particular instance, clearly my two flowers need to go down first. My bird is absolutely going down last. Now, if, here. This is a good example of, I had something on top of the bird, and so this went down last. Actually, I think the spring went down last. But you can see that I kind of have to figure out what order I'm going to go in as I layer everything up once I've determined what I'm going to do. Okay, so let's take Mr. Birdie off. And I'm just going to put everything kind of, you know, around my board, sort of roughly in the places where they would belong. And that will help me remember where to put everything. Now this one I will put on the pieces that will touch the board. I'll put some matte medium, and then I can clean them up. I can clean up what gushes out, if you will, and I will show you how I do that. I do that with a silicone brush. I've got cheesecloth sticking to my fingers. All right. Let's put him right there. Right there. Okay. Let's see. So this is a silicone example of a silicone brush. It's just a silicone head. I've got several different shapes. And of course, I don't know where they all are. This is one of my favorite ones because it's got, it's like a spatula that comes to a point, and it's perfect for getting the excess off. That'll be an easy one to glue on without touching anything. The edge of that, same thing, I'm going to use matte gel medium. I'm just going to come down here and just run a bead of it. And then I'm going to get some up here on the buckle. And then once I lay it down, I know that's not a buckle, handle, what is that? Gonna get enough so it'll grab hold. And get it off my fingers. That goes about right there. About like that. I'm going to squish this down and wipe it up while I'm pushing it down. And this is one where I may need to clamp it. Actually, both of these pieces. But I want to get the excess glue to the extent that I can off first. Yeah, see, I want to put a clamp right here. Okay. I'm going to walk away now, and I'm not going to glue anymore until the pieces that are down here have had time to really dry and that's not on there yet. And that sometimes that takes a bit, you know, sometimes that takes a little bit of time. That's okay. I'm going to leave this clamped. That's on here. This is nice and snug. I'm not going to clamp that just because it's an odd shape, and it's not going to clamp it's not going to work. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, this is pretty much dry. I'm going to let this clip sit here overnight, but I'll go ahead and remove it for now because it's just got a little piece that's not, it's metal. It wants to be a problem. So while this was drying, and is still drying, I added a few more pieces. I added this metal piece, or wooden ruler piece down here at the bottom, and a couple of numbers. So I've got numbers going throughout, and this one is done, and my key feels like it's gonna stay. So yay, so that one's done. Still some white spots where the glue is drying, but those should clear up by morning. So I'm gonna put that right back there and let that sit overnight. There we go. Then while that was sort of sitting and working on the drying part, I went ahead and worked on this one. And so this one is done as well. And it is almost dry, a lot less glue, smaller pieces, not as much weight. So, and not metal pieces that are, you know, bent and wanna do crazy things. So that one's done as well. Okay, so overall, I've got these two, and then I got these two done earlier this weekend. That one. These are bigger. These are quite a bit. Well, these three are all bigger. And that one. And then previously, I had done these. And so, here, let me, got this one. And the little tiny baby hummingbird. and this one. So they're all, I think, they're all different, yet sort of the same. This one I went in and added some patina wax to the edge, and I think I'll do that to a couple others as well, but that one is done. This one. And this one. Okay, so I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 done. So 10 down, 7 to go. So I will continue to work on these and continue to play and have fun. I've been asked if I'm going to be selling these, and I'm going to wait until they're all finished. I will probably finish a couple of them, or keep a couple of them myself, set aside a couple for gifts, and then the rest I will put in my Etsy shop. So I will do maybe one more video on this series before I get them all done. And then, yeah, so more to come. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.